from the station working for you. This is WRTV News at 6, streaming now.
No, he's my dad, and they didn't treat him with the honor and respect that he deserved.
A man unexpectedly dead at the age of 73. Tonight, why his family is filing a wrongful death suit against the nursing home and accusing the facility of negligence.
Going above and beyond, donating plasma as often as she can, how one woman is spreading the message of donation as she gives her COVID-19 antibodies onto the next patient.
Just because you're stuck at home and you're not able to leave doesn't mean that there's not a need for food.
The local effort to make sure everyone has a link to the resources they need to live their lives, with the key to the puzzle placed right on their doorstep.
You want to make sure that you are staying relevant during this time. So, a place like this provides us with that opportunity.
14 businesses open under a single roof, why one vendor says this was the only way she would take the risk of opening a new place amid the pandemic.
Well, now at 6, a Martinsville man's family has filed a wrongful death lawsuit against an Owen County nursing home, accusing it of negligence.
Kenneth Bergan, also known as Butch, died on November 11th, but his family says his death did not have to happen. WRTV Investigates Kara Kenny has been tracking concerns in nursing homes since the start of the pandemic and explains why Butch's loved ones are pushing for change.
Now, we do want to warn you here that this story contains some disturbing images showing what this family has gone through.
Well, my dad was the hardest working man I've ever known.
Ken Bergen misses his dad, who everyone called Butch. Retired after 20 years with the Morgan County Highway Department, Butch developed Alzheimer's 3 years ago, but stayed physically fit.
Incredibly active guy, wanted to be outside every day.
As his Alzheimer's took hold, Butch's family searched for a facility that could help him.
We did tons of research. We looked at every facility that we could find that had a locked memory care unit, because Dad was a bit of a flight risk since he liked to walk so much.
They settled on Owen Valley Health Campus in Spencer and took Butch there September 4th.
We really put our trust in them, and we were really let down.
Initially, family members were able to visit with Butch outside at the nursing home once a week, but that changed in mid-October.
They were in a COVID lockdown and we weren't able to visit him.
One phone call in particular to the nursing home alarmed Butch's family.
And I asked, how he's doing, and they said, well, he doesn't really want to get out of bed today and he doesn't want to eat much.
Butch's family pulled him out of Owen Valley on November 10th and was shocked by his condition. According to a lawsuit filed Monday, Butch suffered from dehydration, pressure sores, and more.
His nose was broken and his front teeth were busted out. And they hadn't told us a thing about that. He was emaciated.
Butch died the next day on November 11th at the age of 73. His death certificate shows malnutrition contributed to his death. His family is devastated and confused as to how Butch could go from an active man to death's door in just 2 months.
He meant so much to us. We thought we had several more years with him.
Ken says his family still hasn't gotten answers about what happened to Butch, including his broken nose. So they hired attorney Ashley Hadler.
It's a case of neglect, absolutely. It's a case of abuse. It's a case of excuses.
Hadler says Butch's biggest decline happened during COVID-19 restrictions, when visitors and state health inspectors were not allowed inside.
They didn't have enough staff in the building. All of the protections for the most vulnerable part of our population were stripped away. And what happened to Butch is a perfect example of what can happen without those protections.
She says state law gives nursing homes immunity during an emergency like COVID-19, but Hadler says that should not apply.
At the time that Butch was neglected and injured, there were no positive COVID residents in the entire building.
Butch's family is suing Owen Valley's operator, Trilogy Health Services, and owner, Putnam County Hospital, for negligence. They hope this prompts change statewide.
We hope that it is a message to our lawmakers that these facilities cannot be given a pass.
Butch's family wants answers about what happened to him, and they want to hold the nursing home accountable.
I just miss him. So he deserved better. You know, the loss of dignity that he had to suffer because of their negligence, because of their inability to care. It's just so unjust. You know, he's my dad, and they didn't treat him with the honor and respect that he deserved.
Working for you, Kara Kenny, WRTV.
The lawsuit is not filed in state court. Instead, the lawsuit was filed with the Indiana Department of Insurance because the entities that own and operate it are qualified healthcare providers under the Indiana Medical Malpractice Act. Trilogy Health Services and Putnam County Hospital responded to us this afternoon with the following statement, quote, "Our campus teams will continue to work to provide quality clinical care and to treat every resident with compassion during these difficult times. In order to respect the privacy of our residents, we do not share their personal information. We take the health, safety, and welfare of our residents seriously and investigate allegations in accordance with our internal policies and procedures and applicable regulations," end quote. You can read that full statement response on WRTV.com. We've been tracking the ups and downs of COVID-19 in Indiana, and today 142 new deaths were reported. We're still seeing an exponentially higher amount of deaths and cases than we were in the summer months, when we saw as little as a few hundred cases a day for a while. The state positivity rate, while fluctuating, remains in a peak state as well.
With thousands of people every day in Indiana getting that positive diagnosis, the need is more urgent than ever to help them recover fully and more quickly. January marks National Blood Donor Month, and those at the American Red Cross and Versity say now more than ever is the time to donate. Nikki Dimitri is working for you tonight.
There is always something we can do to help those that we don't know.
Hope is more than just a word on Kristen Marlowe's wall.
Hope is my word. It's something that I can always hold on to.
Hope is the reason she has pledged to continue donating convalescent plasma to help those battling coronavirus after she was diagnosed with the disease last spring.
Hoosiers helping Hoosiers, I feel that that's my job, and I feel that's my role and responsibility. So as long as I have antibodies to give, I'll give them.
February will mark her third donation of plasma and now platelets too. And while Marlowe has the unique perspective of also working as an executive director for the American Red Cross, she says it's personal when it comes to helping her fellow Hoosiers, as she currently has a family member in the ICU fighting COVID.
When I first donated my convalescent plasma back in July, I got a notice from the Red Cross that let me know that my convalescent plasma donation was sent down to IU Methodist. It is unfortunate, but our family member is actually in IU Methodist. And for me to know that while my convalescent plasma didn't go to that family member, what I did up here in Northwest Indiana can help any Hoosier across the state.
According to the Red Cross, there is a national shortage of convalescent plasma. The nonprofit notes a 250% increase in, quote, hospital distributions. It's thought one blood donation can help up to 3 lives. The process of donating convalescent plasma, according to Marlowe, is as simple as donating blood, but just takes a little longer to do. She and others urge any and all Hoosiers eligible to donate blood, platelets, and plasma to do so now.
As vaccinations roll out, the FDA has not cleared people that have been vaccinated to donate convalescent plasma. So we're going to lose some of the current donors that we have. So we continually need new donors that have recovered from COVID.
Penny Schroeder with Versity says the area needs an average of 600 units of blood daily, which has proven difficult at times.
Some days yes, some days no. Right? We do a lot of blood drives in the area. We put messages out on social media. Right now, coming out of the holiday, our inventory is tight, so we would love to see folks come into one of our centers to donate.
Working for you, Nikki Dimitri, WRTV.
In an effort to get more donors, the American Red Cross and NFL are partnering this month and will be giving away 2 tickets to next year's Super Bowl in Los Angeles. Those who donate blood or plasma this month with the American Red Cross are automatically entered in the drawing.
More Hoosiers than ever are struggling with food insecurity right now. As the pandemic continues, cases rise and families struggle to stay employed.
There's a community effort in place that is bringing food right to Hoosiers' doorsteps if they can't make it out. WRTV's Troy Washington talks with the organizations working together to help those in need.
Since we've implemented this program, we have had about 37,000 phone calls come in for our home delivery system and have served to about 28,000 households since March.
Gleaners Food Bank runs an emergency-based home delivery program. It started during the lockdown last year and has kept gaining momentum as more families find out about it.
It's really for people who are immunocompromised, they're quarantined, or they have COVID.
It's for pregnant women, senior citizens, or those who can't use the drive-through option here at Gleaners.
Just because you're stuck at home and you're not able to leave doesn't mean that there's not a need for food.
Gleaners Food Bank puts together the boxes, but it is a community effort.
With Indie Hunger Network, to kind of field and man all of those calls, we work with Second Helpings because they provide prepackaged and frozen meals for people. We work with 913 Sports, and there are boots on the ground delivering.
Each morning, 913 Sports uses their resources to get the food boxes to families.
Every day, our team rolls out with 4 vans, and we deliver food to between 200 and 250 homes here in Marion County.
Before many schools started doing remote learning, 913 Sports went into schools to use bicycles as an educational tool, such as teaching students how to build bikes. During the pandemic, they found a new purpose.
We all work here because we want to be able to make Indianapolis just a little bit better. And even though food has nothing to do with the bikes that we are so used to for the past 10 years, we just wake up every morning thrilled to be able to step up and help.
And while helping Hoosiers, they are also able to keep their workers employed.
We had something that was unique in the fact that we had staff that wanted to continue to work. We had vans and vehicles and trailers and a facility here on the near northwest side. And we're able to repurpose those vehicles that we normally use to take to schools.
Working for you, Troy Washington, WRTV.
It was a vision test at times today. The snow was subtle, but maybe you saw a few snow flurries. Not expecting any more tonight. Temperatures, they've been stuck in the mid-30s. Our morning low is 30, the afternoon high 37, and you can see how everybody fits in between those temperatures right now. Western Indiana, some breaks in the cloud cover. I'm keeping track of that because it makes it a little more likely that we'll see patchy fog develop. Not an issue now. This is visibility, most areas between 9 and 10 miles. The fog that develops may freeze on some surfaces as temperatures drop into the 20s, so we'll have to be careful with temperatures starting tomorrow morning anywhere from 25 to about 28 degrees. Okay, something big happened on this day 7 years ago. We'll talk about that, and I'll explain this picture of my son coming up.
Well, first the Bottleworks Hotel, then Living Room Theaters. Now opening day for this new spot. Coming up, we take you inside the lively community-focused food hall. That's the first of its kind in Indy.
Also ahead here, a longtime Indiana lawmaker is speaking out on states trying to overturn election results, while former Senator Joe Donnelly feels his replacement ought to be doing differently. Still ahead when WRTV News at 6 continues.
Download today.
Welcome back. As business after business shut their doors in Indianapolis amid the pandemic in 2020, more than a dozen new ones opened today.
Yeah, get this, they're all under one roof. The Garage Food Hall in the Bottleworks district downtown. These entrepreneurs say that they hope the unique concept will help make their businesses a success.
Our Alyssa Donovan is showing us what it takes.
It was a busy first day for the Garage Food Hall in downtown Indianapolis, where 14 businesses opened for the first time to the public.
Definitely there's a fear of, will people even show up?
That concern from owner of Abioku Pizzeria washed away today as Bianca Romo's staff served the lunch rush, filling the Garage Food Hall. Here you can find everything from lobster rolls to hamburgers, Brazilian street food to Hard Truth spirits. And after you're good and full, swing by the in-house barber shop for a fresh cut.
We're super excited to have retail We have food and beverage as well as services.
But opening the concept amid the pandemic came with challenges.
We also made a couple decisions to not build out some spaces and to add additional seating at this time.
It also came with concerns from tenants like Romo.
It's a risk that we're taking.
The pizzeria, the third eatery Romo and her sister opened together. The pandemic proving tough on the other locations they've already established.
Even with the other two businesses, we've had to, make just a few changes to make sure that we're staying afloat.
But like fellow business owners in the hall, they saw the benefits of getting in on the ground floor of the unique project.
We definitely wanted to be part of it.
I think, you wouldn't be an entrepreneur if you weren't concerned, but with being an entrepreneur comes risk, and they were willing to take that risk.
A risk that these entrepreneurs are hoping comes with a high reward. I'm Alyssa Donovan, WRTV.
Well, we can tell you the Garage Food Hall opens at 10:30 daily. More tenants are set to open in the space in the coming months. You can read our full report on it and the Bottle Works District right now on the WRTV app.
And the Garage Food Hall and its businesses are joining the ranks of others that have stayed open during the pandemic. We have highlighted them in our We're Open Indie series. You can check them all out on the WRTV streaming app on your Roku or Amazon Fire Stick. We have a whole shelf of We're Open content, including our half-hour special in full or portioned out by business. Put it on if you're looking for somewhere local to try in central Indiana. Kevin.
Well, Amanda, there are certain weather events that end up frozen in your mind, and this is one of them. 7 years ago today, we had 11.4 inches of snow. That is a big-time snow. Came with wind, leading to blowing and drifting. We had 34 hours that we spent below zero, and the wind chill dropped to 30 below in Indianapolis. So my son got creative, set up a viewing area to watch the coverage here on WRTV. Don't panic. He didn't ruin the family TV. It was already broken when he took it out into that foot of snow. Well, no big storms in the forecast here over the next several days. You can see Wednesday through Sunday, we're locked in the low to mid 30s. Between now and the 19th, our average high is 35. This is the coldest stretch typically of the year and of the month. As we get to the 20th of January, then the average high temperature starts to come back up. We're dry Wednesday through Saturday. Actually, as you'll see, the full 7-day forecast in a little bit will remain dry beyond that. 38 tomorrow. We'll start with that morning fog. Watch for some slick spots. I think visibility will be lowest in the western half or third of the state. 36 Thursday. We stay mostly cloudy. Friday is the coolest day with 33-degree high temperature. We'll bounce back only a little over the weekend. Tomorrow, lots of clouds again, temperatures of around 38 degrees. It's just a lot of temperature talk here because we're holding with the cloud cover. The veil of clouds will keep our range of temperatures from morning low to afternoon high pretty small. No big surge in the temperature because of that cloud cover, but we do end up with some sunshine as we get toward the weekend. That'll be something to look forward to. Temperatures about average Thursday. As we go to the weekend, some breaks in the cloud cover, a welcome sight. 34 Saturday, temperatures right on the number, our average high as we get to Sunday. Here's your 7-day forecast. We put it together and right across the board, lows in the 20s, highs in the 30s. And we're pretty dry other than some patchy fog overnight tonight. No real weather events to keep track of. Temperatures will be coldest as we get to the morning hours Sunday. 22 degrees is what we'll have then. So far, big snows are just in our memory, not in the forecast. Guys, Mark?
And we remember it. All right, thanks, Kevin. Only on WRTV, former Indiana Senator Joe Donnelly is criticizing the effort to challenge the certification of the United States presidential election. Donnelly talked to our Rafael Sanchez this week and had this to say about his former opponent and current Senator Mike Braun.
A long history, Rafael, in Indiana, of serious, hardworking senators, Senator Lugar, Senator Coates, Senators Evin and Birch Bayh, Vice President Quayle. I tried to do what was right every single day. And I think this is it's a really radical extremist position, something Indiana has never been part of. And so this is something very, very foreign to the way we've always tried to represent our state in the United States Senate.
Is this about a fear for Mr. Braun, you believe, maybe about a primary challenge? or not being able to hold President Trump's base. What do you think is driving this situation?
We take a constitutional oath to uphold and defend the Constitution. This is how our election system works. And so there's nothing much more radical or more extreme than trying to overturn state-certified election results.
Indiana Senator Mike Braun, who defeated Donnelly for his seat in 2018, is among those requesting the creation of a commission to conduct an emergency 10-day audit of the election returns. This is all despite election officials in both Democratic and Republican states that have legally certified the results with Joe Biden as president-elect. WRTV reached out to Braun's office via email and did not get a response. Senator Braun was part of a joint GOP statement issued on Saturday, which in part says, quote, "These are matters worthy of the Congress and entrusted to us to defend. We do not take this action lightly. We are acting not to thwart the democratic process, but rather to protect it," end quote.
We've still got a look at the latest jobs up for grabs in Central Indiana. Coming up in our Hiring Hoosiers job feed, you're watching the news at 6 on WRTV.
Rivers.com.
Right now on WRTV, we're showcasing open jobs in Central Indiana with the Hiring Hoosiers job feed. If you're passionate about teaching in underserved communities, this could be the perfect fit for you. Phelan Leadership Academies is hiring a full-time teacher position. WRTV has done several stories featuring Phelan and their hard work to help kids succeed even during the pandemic. Superior Pool Products in Indianapolis is looking to hire a warehouse associate. The company boasts competitive salaries, paid vacation and holidays, benefits, and summer bonus programs. You can apply to be a material handler. Spectra Premium is hiring in Greenfield. This position is all about attention to detail. Details on all these jobs are on our jobs board at hiringhoosiers.com. Kevin.
Fog in the morning. That will burn off, but we'll be left with cloud cover and a 38-degree high. We stay in the 30s the rest of the work week. Amanda?
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you at 7.